We just spent 10 incredible days road tripping through British Columbia, from the historic charm of Victoria to the mountain peaks of Whistler. This was a dream trip, but it definitely had a price tag to match.
In this video, we are sharing our exact 10-day route, the must-do stops like the goats on the roof and the sea-to-sky gondola, and exactly how much this trip cost us.
Full disclosure, our total came to over $10,000 US. We flew first class on the way back and stayed at a resort for a wedding, so this is not a budget guide. It's a real cost transparency guide. We're going to break down every dollar so you can see where to save and where it's worth to splurge.
Let's start with day one. We flew into Vancouver International Airport and picked up our rental car from National, which cost us about $636 for the week.
Instead of rushing to the ferry immediately, we stayed our first night in the city at the Sheridan Wall Center to recover from the travel. Little travel tip for you: if you're coming from far away, like the East Coast like us, giving yourself this buffer night is a game changer before hitting the road.
On day two, the road trip officially began with our drive to Horseshoe Bay Ferry Terminal. This brings us to another key tip of this trip: make a ferry reservation. Don't just show up. We booked ours in advance to get to Nanaimo on Vancouver Island. If you do have a vehicle, you must make a reservation.
Once on the island, we grabbed lunch at Creekmore's. We walked among the 800-year-old giants at Cathedral Grove and McMillan Provincial Park. And we even saw the famous goats on the roof in Coombs Market. We headed to Parksville for a wedding at the Tigh-Na-Mara Seaside Spa Resort. This rustic, oceanside resort feels like a luxury summer camp.
On day four, we drove south to Victoria. On the way down, we stopped at the Malahut Skywalk. The views are insane, and taking the slide to the bottom is a must. We based ourselves at the Delta Hotel's Ocean Point, right on the harbor, for 3 nights. We explored Fantan Alley in Chinatown, the narrowest street in all of Canada. Walked the docks at Fisherman's Wharf to see the colorful floating homes, and checked out the breakwater where we were able to catch some wild otters.
Of course, we visited the Butchart Gardens. It's world famous for a reason. Even if you aren't a garden person, the sunken garden is spectacular. We also toured Craigdarroch Castle, which gives you a glimpse into the wealthy history of the area.
On day 7, we left the island. We drove north to Departure Bay and took the ferry back to the mainland to drive the legendary Sea to Sky Highway.
The drive lived up to the hype. We stopped at Shannon Falls, which is right off the highway, and then rode the Sea to Sky Gondola. This was another big ticket item, but the suspension bridge at the top offers some of the best views in all of Canada.
We ended the drive in Whistler, checking in to the Delta Whistler Village Suites. Whistler is a ski town, but it's bustling in the summer. Prepare your wallet. Everything here carries a resort tax price tag.
On day 8, we started our morning with a train wreck hike. It's a short, easy trail that leads to remaining train cars from a 1956 derailment scattered in the forest. This train wreck is now covered in graffiti. It's eerie, beautiful, and totally free.
Driving back towards Vancouver, we made a stop at the Britannia Mine Museum, where the tour includes a train ride underground into an old copper mine for an interactive demo that was wicked cool.
We arrived back in Vancouver that evening, dropped the rental car off at the airport, took the SkyTrain back to the Sheridan Wall Center for our final stretch of a most incredible trip.
For our final full day, we rented e-bikes to ride the seawall around Stanley Park. This is hands down the best way to see the waterfront. We also stopped in at the Vancouver Aquarium, the largest aquarium in all of Canada, to see the sea lions and other marine life.
On our very last day before heading to the airport, we spent the morning at Granville Island Public Market. It's chaotic, delicious, and the perfect place to grab a lunch before a flight.
Finally, we utilized the late checkout and headed to Vancouver Airport to catch our red-eye flight home.
Okay, the part you've been waiting for. How do we end up spending over $10,000 on a 10-day trip? Let's break down the categories.
Let's start with our flight costs. This was a heavy hitter and came in around $4,100, but we treated ourselves to first-class upgrades for the red-eye flight home to make that travel day bearable. If you fly economy, you can instantly save thousands here. For hotels and lodging, we came in just over $3,000, averaging out to about $300 a night. We stayed in prime locations like the Harbor in Victoria and right inside Whistler Village, plus the resort stay for the wedding was a bit of a splurge. You can definitely find cheaper motels, but Vancouver can be pricey in the summer.
Dining and food? Of course you can control the spending on here, but we spent about $1,200 or about $118 a day on food. This included everything from our nice dinners at places like Il Terrazzo and the Red Accordion to our daily stops for coffee and snacks. Car rental, as we mentioned up front, we spent about $640 on this from National. Of course, this is variable. And then last but not least, activities and ferries, we spent about $1,000 here. As we said, those reservations were crucial or our vehicle wasn't getting there. And attractions like the gondola, gardens, and museums were definitely a must, even if a little pricey.
So, the big question, was it worth $10,000 for us? Absolutely. Between amazing cities like Victoria, the incredible food, and the bucket list views on the Sea to Sky Highway, this was definitely a trip of a lifetime.
However, you can easily do a version of this trip for half the price if you skip the flight upgrades and choose budget accommodations. Because honestly, the mountains don't care about your budget. The giant trees, the ocean sunsets, and that legendary drive on the Sea to Sky Highway look just as epic from a campground as they do from a resort.
We've linked our full itinerary and map in the description below so you can plan your own adventure. If you want to see what these places actually look like, check out our full series.
And if you really want to help out the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like, because you don't want to miss any of our future adventures.
Safe travels.
And always, keep wandering.
Bye.
I think it's time for me